welcome to This Week in the Tech Boy Podcast. We have so much to talk to you about today. Of course, Samsung launched some new phones. They're good and some are also bad. There's a NBA 2K WNBA edition. Interesting news for the three people who are going to buy that game. And Pastor has turned this into a video game, and people online, of course, got mad about this as well. So let's talk about this. I was making this quote thingy in Canva here, where you guys can see this image here on the screen. I'm going to turn this, I don't know what color I should change this. Green, brown. Yeah, there you go. Hope you guys can actually read this on the screen. This will go up online over the airwaves later here. But this is just a summary of, I guess it kind of put together of the quote that I said here. Quote, this church did something interesting. Instead of doing the same thing 52 times a year, kids would always say that the Bible was boring and get put in the imagination station in Adventures in Odyssey, and then say that the Bible was interesting. Unfortunately, the imagination station doesn't exist in real life. This is real life. We need to work with what we have. This will make the Bible fun. This will make church a lot more interesting. So as you can see on the screen, I'm going to move this quote out of the way. These people here, this church set up a Mario themed church service, and people for some reason got mad. Wait, bro. Okay, guys. I know I'm going to lose all my little evangelical points. I'm going to lose all the attention or whatever. But church 52 times a year is the same thing over and over again. It's the same song. You sing your song. You sing your song. You get up there, someone preaches the same message. Of course, you already know the answers to if you've been going to church for multiple years. Spice it up a little, but get people into the door. I mean, why are you people crying about this? Seriously, why are you mad about this? It's not like they were up there, instead of having a church service, playing Mario Kart on the Wii. No, they actually had a church service. It was just a Mario Kart themed church service. I mean, the only people who would probably be mad about this is Nintendo if they didn't get their licenses correct, and of course, Nintendo could legally sue about that. So that is the one and only thing that that they could that you guys could be mad about. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know why people are upset about this. Now, speaking of something to be upset about, I mean, there's so many things to be upset about, and this is not one of them. But this is one of the things you can be upset about. Samsung released their new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip and Fold smartphone. So let's actually give the good news first. The Galaxy Z Flip now has a much larger cover display screen, and it reminds me of the Samsung of the Motorola folding phones here. Hopefully you can see this on the screen. So this is the Galaxy Z Flip. This is what I call Samsung's pocket mirror here as well. It's $1,099 here on the Samsung store. I mean, look at this nice, beautiful design here. You don't have that folded design anymore. You got the full edge-to-edge screen display here. Now, look, I will call out Samsung. They don't have a telephoto lens on this. This is an affront to human decency. It's an affront to civilization, but, it is a folding phone. But they should have a telephoto lens on it for $1,000. Look, Samsung is not Apple. Apple is the only company that can get away with junk like this. Putting one camera on their $600 iPhone SE, putting two cameras on the wildly popular pink iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. But, Samsung should not be allowed to get away with this. But, I'm going to give them a pass because, and only because, this phone has DeX on it. Finally, after 7 years, they finally put DeX on a Z Flip phone, even though the dang Galaxy A90 had DeX on it. Okay, we know that DeX can run off these phones, and finally, Samsung puts DeX on it. They actually did something right for once. Goodness. I mean, now you have your nice little, perfect little pocket computer. You can just plug it into a monitor, and hopefully this means that Samsung's not going to transition away from DeX, because I heard that classic DeX was dead on the One UI 8 updates, of course, on the new tablets as well. So, hopefully Samsung, they killed Linux on DeX. Hopefully this comes back as stays on as a feature as well. But I mean, we got to talk about this absolute affront. This affront to just decency. The Galaxy Z Fold. You may be thinking about, wow, what's going on here? It's it's thinner, it's lighter, it has a bigger cover display, it's great, it's nice and everything, and it's $2,000. Samsung, you are not Apple, and I hope you never become Apple. But here's the one big major problem with this phone here is that Samsung went back and they said that they repented. They said that I have a mistake. They said that they made a mistake, and I don't think that they made a mistake. Look, the Z Flip and Fold phone is their most cutting edge line of devices. It's the most high tech, the most experimental line of devices, because of course now the A series line has gone away. Well, it's not gone away, but it's now their budget line of devices here. Hope you guys can see this on the screen. I saw this on stream and I was like, what in the actual heck is this? I cannot believe it. This is offensive. This is wrong. Samsung should not have put the punch hole display back in the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. They should have stuck with the under display camera. Also, one thing that they did is make this thinner and better and lighter and then more exciting and amazing and great and everything. And sunshine and butterflies, yada yada yada. It sounds like Samsung had a crush on this phone or something like that. But they took away the digitizer from the S Pen. I mean, so this phone, the $2,000 phone that has that flips out. You know one thing that you're missing here? The S Pen. They don't have S Pen support on here, and they might kill the S Pen support on the Galaxy S26. And I say no. We gotta stick to the pin. Come on, guys, stick with the pin. I mean, if Samsung were to take the S Pen away, not just as like an extra accessory thing like they did with the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, if Samsung takes this feature away, then the only phones that are going to have styluses built into them are those trash Motorola phones. I've gone hands-on with them, and they have like these little scrawny little tips of a pen. It is not good. It is not good at all. So Samsung, get your act together. I mean, this is ridiculous. I cannot, I cannot, I don't know why this phone exists at all. But speaking of phones, here we have some girls using an iPhone here, and while they do lose points for using an iPhone here, I do think this does go to show, how ingenious that these people can be. They are very smart here. And finally, I really like this. I really like this. And I'm sure there's something about dating, but it's finally a clique got together. They came together in their headquarters. They connected their phone to their TV, and they finally had a meeting. It's everything that Gcam could have done. If Gcam had just done this, they would have nuked JVN into the ground. All right, guys, watch this video. I mean, this is like Department of Defense level technology here. So as you guys can see on the screen, we got the iPhone synced up to a television, and they're looking at this message here, and they got their counselors, their advisors here. I'm going to turn on the audio. They got their counselors, they got their advisors here, and they are giving advice and talking to each other. Like this is they're in the situation room of the White House or in the Pentagon, and they're each analyzing the text message, going line by line, code by code into each and every one of these text messages, trying to find out each and every angle that this person was trying to text from. What was their angle? And if they had if they had this kind of power to exert over some asinine text message from some maybe sort of kind of wannabe crush, think about what kind of power that they could exude if they were trying to run for high school president or something. Think about the kind of power that they could exude if they were trying to stop a secret fight club within the school. Look, if they are going to exert this much power just over this, think about how much more could be done.
I have a few options.
Okay, yeah.
Too many comments. Okay, should I delete all of them? I don't know what to do.
I'm so nervous. Say like if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Good.
Okay, yes. Look, I will admit that they did get a little bit, excited here. It's not, super professional. It's not like it's not like they did anything like that. But I mean, it is a lot smarter than what Teddy Duncan did. Teddy Duncan, one of the smartest, probably the smartest character on Good Luck Charlie. Which probably isn't that hard to be one of the smartest characters on Good Luck Charlie. Gabe, is probably the second smartest character on Good Luck Charlie. But he's more of an evil genius. Teddy Duncan is just like more of a all around genius here. And of course, look at this beautiful Pixar 0.3 megapixel image that we got here. Anyway, so we got Teddy, we got Spencer, we got Teddy, and of course Skylar here, who has the IQ of a lamppost. Like she makes Teddy's brother, PJ, look smart in comparison to her, which is, I mean, only a few people can do that. I mean, it is honestly a talent to be as dumb as Skylar was in this television show. So Teddy Duncan, probably one of the smarter, not just good luck, Charlie girls, but one of the smarter Disney Channel girls. I mean, she's up there with Lexi. Like, you know how everyone's, oh my goodness, Lexi's stupid. Yeah, but Lexi, not stupid, but Lexi's a bully. Yeah, but Lexi's a smart bully. So, she gets passed. Anyway, Teddy Duncan, one of the smarter Disney Channel girls, made the mathematically incorrect choice in this episode called Secrets. So, Teddy is smart and talented most of the times. He maintains an A average. He tapes vlog videos. He gives good advice and stays out of trouble for the most part. She does have this one weakness, which of course is boys. So, and for context, a few episodes ago, she broke up with the boyfriend Spencer because he caught him cheating on her with Skyler. So, this isn't going to be, this entire essay about, cheating. Is that a real thing? Is that a not real thing? Teen dating, is that a thing? Is that not a real thing? Whatever. You guys know the statistics, 98% chance of failure. And that fell there. So anyway, so she broke up with him because it was a smart thing to do. Teddy, you may be thinking, oh, well, breaking up with him might cause hit to popularity. No, Teddy could be in would most likely be one of the most popular kids in her school. She has all these other options here. So, she has obviously the definite upper hand. So after one car crash, one star-spangled failure, and a Halloween scale later, Teddy is careless and applies for a job where she will have to kiss Spencer in a play. So this leads her mom to buy her a car because that's why she's in the job. But she has to quit the job here, and then for some reason, because Spencer kissed well or something, but like that's a skill? Are you kidding me? Anyway, just for some reason like that, because Spencer kissed well, or some nonsensical reason like that, because she forgave him for all his crimes they've been whining about for the past 5 episodes. She basically called him like the spawn of Satan or something like that. Now she's back to hugging and kissing him. Yada yada yada. So she wants to trade in a car. She trades in a car for that. Are you kidding me? That is the worst deal in all of human history. So here's the deal as it appears in Teddy's mind. Because Teddy, as smart as she is, cannot and will not predict the future. Teddy either gets to keep the car, she quits her job, and maybe she can get a job somewhere else, but she cannot date Spencer. Or Teddy can date Spencer, but she loses her car. Well, that has all these features in it. The math is clear. The calculus is clear. The smart and only reasonable decision that any reasonable person is to drop Spencer and go find some new person. Or, hey, guys, think about this. Maybe don't think. Look, even if Spencer didn't cheat, even if Spencer was the quote-unquote love of her life, she has a 98% chance of failure. And in her brain here, she has a 100% chance of losing the car. So either you keep the car 100%, and you can hold on to that, what might have been 2% chance, or you get to lose the car, and then guys, guess what? It's 7 episodes later, you'll fall apart, and then you still don't have a car. You'll be right back to where you started, and you've wanted a car for 7 episodes. So the math is clear. Break up with him. You shouldn't be dating him. Quit the job. You can find a new job. So then she goes in, she confesses to her parents that she still has feelings for Spencer for some reason. And she still dates him, which, I mean, quite literally, they could kind of, I mean, if you want to, there technically is a secret third option, which is, the quote-unquote secretly date, because, I mean, you'd have to, I guess, figure out what the definition of date is and just get as close to the line as possible without, actually crossing the line. That's not advice. I'm just saying that's a thing that could have been an option if Teddy's just going to be stupid. But anyway, her parents meet her halfway. She has to pay for the car, but now she gets to keep Spencer. Which, I mean, that may sound like a great resolution, Oh, wow, Teddy was honest. That's great. No, it's not. So now she has a car that she has to pay for. She has to keep this job, and now she has a 98% chance of failure with Spencer, which means she most likely is going to end up having to pay for this car. The car is going to stay while not having a boyfriend. And because she works with him at the same job, which means they see each other at school and at work. Guys, guess what? There's more time. There's more stress to rise for conflict. I mean, honestly, that's probably one of the dumbest decisions that she's ever made. Look, if I was ever faced with this decision, which I probably would never be faced with this decision because that would require me to date and then break up in the first place. But if I ever was facing this decision, so I don't know what happened. Maybe I lost 20% of my IQ. I would never, ever in a million years choose some random girl over a car. That is ridiculous. Okay, guys, I would never choose some random girl over a car. I never choose some random girl over a $20 cell phone. Okay, look, the mathematically and fiscally responsible choice would be to choose the cell phone, choose the car, choose the computer, choose the piece of paint. I mean, it is a lot more fiscally responsible to do this. Anyway, back to techboy.org. Look at this beautiful picture that was made in Canva. Here's how you can change your wallpaper on the Samsung phone. So there's a whole bunch of words to tell you. Hold down the screen and then click the change wallpaper button. Congratulations and good luck. And of course, Galaxy Unpacked also aired. Samsung released their multiple tools. Their Galaxy watches. So that was good. The Galaxy Watch 8. Why does it look like this? Why is Samsung doing this? This is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8. It looks like a dang squircle. What? Oh yeah, here it is. What is this design? So you got this, circle design, but then they have like this square bezel. Why, Samsung? Why? You are not Apple. You never will be Apple. You're better than Apple. It boggles the mind. No one wants that weird looking egg-shaped phone. All right, now let's talk about the where is it? Where is it in the notes? Oh yeah, the NBA 2K WNBA thing that I can assure you that 2,000 people are not going to buy. WNBA 2. Like, why does this exist? No one watches the WNBA in the first place. The WNBA only exists out of the goodness and kindness of the NBA's heart. The NBA loses money off of the WNBA. The WNBA is not profitable and has not been profitable for 30 years. I mean, honestly, they should not be in business. Who is going to buy this video game? Like, seriously, who? Who is the market for? Is it for girls? Because, I mean, did they have to actually watch the game, to play? I mean, I cannot think of a sports video game that people watch, that people play, but they don't actually watch the sport. And if they don't watch that'd be like making a video game based off of this podcast. Yeah, for all, let's see the statistics here. All one of you watching right now. Yeah, no one is going to make a video game off of this podcast. Here is the cover here. You got Angel Reese, who is covering, who's not even the number one star, but that would be Caitlin Clark. Like, I mean, the WNBA should be like begging, should be begging, for help and trying to get all these people. They should be using all the help and all the star power and all the talent that they have. I mean, they should put every single two of those stars, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, on the front of WNBA 2K26 to try to get this game to sell. I mean, it makes zero sense. All right, I'm gonna pull up this this book. I was so excited when this book came out. This book's called Your Own Worst Enemy, which is a book about some students running for high school president. I'm going to pull up the image here on the screen. And I was like, yes, finally, a book like this. Let's compare this to of course, the critically acclaimed SSA LTW the election book. So the book is called Your Own Worst Enemy, a novel. I found it in the library, I read it, and Plugged In would have cried. Plugged In would have probably died right there on the table. I mean, well, if I had a nickel for every bad word that was in this book, I probably could have contributed to a super PAC if that was in this book. Plugged In died right there on the table, whatever. But I was thinking, wow, finally, this is a book. And then these are the candidates here, which is, I mean, this doesn't even make sense, but okay. So you got Station Wynn, the front runner, who's won every student election since freshman year, and she's apparently blonde, which of course echoes back to the fictional didn't happen because this book is fictional and I wrote it, Blondegate, and the whole thing. Right, so I thought that was a nice touch there. So Stacey win. Julia Romero, which is a president because she doesn't want to get, and I swear, this is a real thing that happened in a real book. She doesn't want to be deported to Canada. She doesn't think the school does enough for its immigrant students. If she can prove she's the next, who the heck is this? Malala Yousafzai. She is able to stay in California with Brian. And Tony Guo, who is usually oblivious to the school's political campaigning, and she's oblivious to anything. But his favorite beverage is banned, which is just chocolate milk. Political freshman mastermind convinces Tony to become the voice of the little guy, and he runs this election. Now, you may be thinking, when was this book written? What year was this book written? You know, that whole banning milk thing of the 2010. Nah, this book was written in 2018. So, your top candidates is just random blonde girl, some Canadian person who did something horrible and in the book, and that comes up later, and some kid who wants chocolate milk. Okay, those are your top political choices? Okay. So here's essentially a summary of the book. Stacey Wynn is like she's nice, you know. She has this like a little recycling campaign, you know. She's dedicated to the student council here. And then Julie Romero, the only reason she's in the United States from Canada is because she's cyberbullied someone so bad that something tragic almost ended up happening. So then she decides to run for president so that she doesn't get, you know, kicked out the country and sent back to her mother. And then Tony, he just wants the milk. Okay, so here's what happens. I swear, this is a real book. Apparently, someone, we don't know who this is, vandalizes one of Julia's posters, who was, as you guys remember, a Canadian citizen who gets accused of being Latina for some reason. I mean, there's an entire plot point in the book. Well, she goes up to the Latina club, the Hispanic club or whatever, and you know, she campaigns for them. And you know, one of the, I guess, big things is that she's like pretending to be Hispanic, and I guess that's a bad thing. Or like that would crash her campaign that she pretended to be Hispanic. I don't know why, but anyway, someone wrote, "We should build a wall," on one of her posters. And the entire press, oh yeah, I forgot, there's like this guy who's in the press and something, goes crazy. I mean, they go absolutely nuts. They start like talking about white supremacy or something. Okay. Sure. Yes, look, you shouldn't be vandalizing people's posters, but maybe like tone it down a little bit. I swear, this is a real book that actually happened. So I took some pictures of some of the funniest things here. In the book. I'm just going to read them out here. Yes, I'm not going to read that one on the screen. Yes, here we go. Yes, so one of the things that they talking about Stacey's on student council is they want their brunch activities to be more inclusive to, I guess, Black people. So I guess the activity that they were doing was called bubble bowling, which is when you get them on those hamster balls and run them over. And this is a real quote from a real book that exists. You can actually go buy this book. I wouldn't recommend buying this book, but you can. Here's a real quote. Quote, Black people will not let anyone roll them across campus in an inflatable ball. Yeah, end quote. Okay. That is you know that is a sentence that was said in the English language. And you know, chapter 2, you know, I'll just upload a picture and you guys can go read that yourself. PG-17. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, Julia, little Miss Immigrant Julia, who let's remember that she cyberbullied someone so badly that she got sent to the United States. compared homecoming to slavery and colonialism because it's historic or something. Again, this is a real book that actually happened. And this is the news report from the overwhelmingly biased, so biased news agency. It's so biased towards Julia. It is insane. Last night, someone vandalized the campaign poster of Julia Romero with an anti-immigrant rallying cry. Romero, a recent transfer student, remember, from Canada, is running for student body president against Stacey Wins. Wins' campaign banned and tongue at the school were untouched, which leads many to believe this was a hate crime. A hate crime is crazy. I know this kind of racist speech doesn't represent the majority of students at Lincoln, Romero said in response to the incident. And remember the thing was, we need to build a wall. No, it said build that wall. It's crazy. Like what? And essentially they go on throughout. Stacey starts to investigate. There's a whole bunch of people like dating back and forth with each other. And in the end, it's just like some picture gets leaked because of some parental control app. Wow, guys, what? Parental control app got used as a spy app as a proxy for malware. Color me shocked. I'm shocked that this happened. I can't believe someone used the parental control app as a malware app to get some pictures to, like, I guess blackmail Stacey or something. Which then the pictures come out and she just goes up on stage and she sees the pictures and then she just cusses and walks off the stage and everyone starts chanting with her. It is such a weird book. It's such a weird, whiny book. And in the end, this incompetent guy who just wanted chocolate milk because he valued the power of ninth grade. That's ninth grade is the key for political success, and he valued the power of ninth grade, and guys, that's what he wanted, and then he didn't really want to win. So I think honestly one of the smartest characters in this book would be the first character, of course. She's the number one character in the book, and she won the election by blackmailing. By essentially tricking him into what's it called? Yeah, essentially tricking him into winning the election and then losing the election. And then I have another book I want to talk about. We'll talk about that next week. God bless. Tech Talk to you.